Virginia Tech has been running the football for a long time. A lot of good backs.
Let him run the boat.
First round backs. Big time backs. But guess who broke the Virginia Tech school rushing?
Boys for making me better, boy. Hey, I appreciate y'all.
About to break it down.
That's great. All right, well, that said, 266 yards on a Thursday night, still running wild. Bhayshul Tuten joins us. First of all, we appreciate the time. Man, when you're having a night like that, I mean, your offensive line just blowing people out of the way, it's got to be a great feeling, though, right? And when you just know the big boys up front are doing all the dirty work and you get out there to do your dog and pony. I mean, that's what's that feeling like, Bhayshul, when you're having one of those kind of nights?
It's definitely a great feeling. Like you said, the O-line, we're doing their big one out there tonight. They're moving people. Well, the other night. They're moving people, creating big holes for me to run through. And like Coach Tebow said, make the routine plays explosive. And it was a whole night full of it.
Were you surprised at how wide open some of these creases, some of these holes were? Obviously, you have landmarks when you're approaching the line of scrimmage. You're sticking your foot in the ground, and you've got to get to a certain point. But these were gaping holes. I mean, there were times where you weren't even touched.
Yeah, on my 83-yard touchdown run, I don't think I was touched at all. Like, the hole was, like, huge. And that makes it so much easier when they're able to get guys off the spot and make my read so much easier to where I could just do one cut and, gash it up the field vertical. And then with my speed, it's kind of an automatic touchdown from there.
I know this sounds crazy, but you looked extra fast Thursday night. What? I mean, I know that you're sitting there going, hey, I'm just doing my job. But, man, it looked like you had another gear Thursday night that I, quite frankly, haven't seen all season long. Is there something new going on there, or what was happening there?
No, I think me and Coach Brooks joke around about it. I had that bulking knee brace on for the past 4 to 5 weeks. So I think finally freeing me out that thing, I was able to cut loose and actually, open up stride like I know I can.
Bhayshul, when you consider how the start of the season went, with all of the offseason expectations, the most returning production of any offensive team in college football, the schedule looks good, and now flash forward to now, coming off of this game, do you get the sense that this team is maybe starting to come together at the right time and peak here as we enter the month of November?
Yes, I definitely do feel like that. I think early on in the season, we took a couple L's, hard, tough L's. But I think we persevered through it. We know, like, coming off a big one like we did Thursday, we know what we're capable of now, and we got to keep the ball rolling. And that's all we're telling each other, like, just keep it going, improving each day through practice, through meetings. Just go out there and just play fluent.
Not to put salt in the wound, but the way that game ended against Miami, which could have easily been a W. It seemed like the next week you go across country and people still buzzing about the ending of that game. And the way it became almost like a business trip when you went to Stanford, and it was a complete team effort. I mean, you ran the football, you scored, the defense was great, totally controlled it in every sense of the word. It felt like that was the moment for this team to say, hey, which direction are we going in? When you guys got back from the Miami game, what was the conversation point like with this football team internally?
The Miami game was a nail biter. It was a tough game. I think that was our best game played up until that point. And just the message from Coach Pryor is like, hey, we can come out here and do it every week. I think that was our best week of practice all week. And then just coming into a nail biter like that and then not ending the way we wanted it to. I think us and the coaches saw, like, when we played to our height like we did that game, that anything could be possible. Like, no one could really mess with us. And I think that's the mindset we had since. So we went into the Stanford game, and we were thinking that all week, like, it's time to turn, like, the tables around. It's losing, we're done. Like, our goal is to win out, and that's been a motivation since the Miami game. And I think it's working for us, and we're definitely focused. in that mindset that we're not losing no more.
Bhayshul, from a coaching and leadership standpoint, Coach Pry obviously he's been riding the ebbs and flows of the season, as you guys have as players. Describe his personality through the ups and the downs of the season up until this point where you guys look, again, as I stated earlier, that you're kind of starting to take off.
He's always been positive. I know as a coach it could be hard when you have tough losses, not knowing what to say or whatever. But I think he's doing a great job just keeping us uplifted, keeping our heads up, keeping us focused throughout the weeks and throughout practices. I think he's definitely giving us great words to like just keep pushing and motivating us to go hard, go better, and want more as a team. And I think he's doing a phenomenal job with that.
All right, I got to ask you, because I know we got Halloween in 10 days, but the danger, beware the dog mouthpiece, man. Where'd that come from, and where can I get my hands on one of those?
I actually got that from I think Academy Sports or the Dick's Sporting Goods out here. They're very common mouthpieces. At first I was looking at it and I thought it was corny, but then I was like, I like the white in it and then the black and then the danger. And then with the little sand they got for me, so I was like, hey, why not? I thought it was a little corny at first, but I like it.
We like it too.
Well, it looks good when you're going for 266 yards and when you're crossing midfield and you got nothing but green grass in front of you, man. You got that big smile. It was getting some serious love on Thursday night.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you go from here? Now, I hear. Do you have other ones, or is you going to go back to that one?
Yeah, I have other ones, but I think that's my favorite right now.
What else is in the repertoire? Can you tell us, or is that a secret?
I got an off-white one. I wore the same one last year. I just brought a new one. I have a regular orange one, regular white one. And then I have it's like a Joker theme. It says "Ha Ha" on it in all black.
There we go. Love it.
I think that may be in the works.
So serious.
Yeah, that may be in the works. All right, so where we go from here with this football team? I mean, you guys feel like you got some momentum. Here comes Georgia Tech, who, by the way, he's had a lot of success in Blacksburg, which you're not going to see Haynes King this week, so it's a little bit different. But where does this team go from here? I mean, you talked about trying to run the table and going on and winning every single game. But what's it feel like right now with this football team?
I think the mindset that we're in right now is we had our meetings yesterday and stuff like that. It just take it as another week. It's the next week that we play, the next game that we play. Coming in meetings, practice, all focused. Just another game on our schedule, another opponent that's in our way. No matter who we play, we still got to put the ball down regardless. Come this weekend, so it's we just got to hit the film hard, and we know they're a good opponent. We just got to be on our P's and Q's all week to make the game easier for us to play.
And I look at that schedule. I see Georgia Tech. I see Clemson. I see Virginia. You got 3 more home games. Hokie Nation obviously is going crazy. They've sold out the place for every single game. The momentum that you guys have to play in front of that crowd. Again, I always ask the players when you guys come on here. We had APR on a couple weeks ago. When you're in that tunnel, Bhayshul, and you know, hey, they're going to be 60,000 plus going crazy. Here goes Enter Sandman. That walk you have to get to the tunnel before you come out. How would you describe that to Virginia Tech fans and anybody else that's watched it but have never been to a game at Lane Stadium?
It's a crazy feeling. I think my first time walking out, it was like I haven't experienced nothing like that before. So you're walking up to the stadium, coming from the locker room, and it's kind of like just a walkway, like a sidewalk going into the tunnel, and you just see like the fans from like the stadium's packed. So you just see the fans, the student section, most of the student section looking back, screaming, yelling. Do you just hear Lane like just loud rocking? So it's a crazy feeling, like you about to go into like war or something like that with a crazy support base behind you. And it's just, you hear all the screaming and yelling. And then finally when we enter and run through, it's just like the sound barrier is like it's going insane. It's crazy.
Do you like being in the front, middle, or in the back coming through the tunnel?
I like being in the front. You see like, I don't know, you see like the power, like all the fireworks and stuff. You see all that good stuff. I did the back last year. I ain't like it because I got like the back half of everything. So I always go out first. Like I be in the front now, so you get the fireworks, all the jumping and yelling from the initial run out.
So when you're in the back, you feel like you've kind of missed out on something. Like, the party's
Yeah.
already started and like, hey, wait a minute, man, I got to get a chance to really enjoy it and absorb it all in.
Yeah, that's how I felt. So I like sticking in the front now, so you get it all when it first, starts.
And by the way, how do you guys determine who's out front? I mean, I got to figure everybody wants to be in the front.
It's we don't really kind of speak on it. I guess it just happens. You just walk
First
to the
come,
front,
first serve, right? First
Yeah,
come,
pretty
first
much.
serve. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Get out of the locker room, get in line.
All right,
Get in line.
I want to go back to Coach a second because Tom asked you about the emotion of your coach, and we've had a great time with him. He's always a fun guy to talk to. Before you come out through the tunnel, his last words to you, is he one of those guys that's kind of quiet, hey, we've done our work, let's go showcase it? Or does he kind of give you one of those fiery pep talks that, hey, we got one more, let's let it rip? Well, what's normally his mindset before you walk out of the locker room, before you zipped into the tunnel?
I would say he's normally more on the quiet side. Trust your process that you've been through, all the work we put in. Just let's go out here and ball. He doesn't really give like a pep speech or anything like before running out of lane, but in the locker room, you do a little 1-2 as a coach should. He does a great job. We have a couple captains that give a motivational speech, and then we hit the walk. Right before bursting out the tunnel, he doesn't say much. He kind of got that, like he's like a player, like he's locked in, focused on running out, and getting the game ready to go.
Well, I tell you what, you guys are rocking. It feels like the momentum has turned for Hokies and everybody else. I'm married to one. She's fired up. Can't wait to see what you guys do this week with Georgia Tech and the rest of the season. Keep your great play, man. You're balling, and you are a big-time player. Stay healthy. We look forward to touching base with you later on.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
You got it. Bhayshul Tuten, man, he is a ball player. There's no question about that. When we come back.